Welcome back. As we told you earlier, thousands marched against the government today, demanding that Attorney General Anand Rablogan and Justice Minister Herbert Falney be removed from office. Among the marchers was political scientist Kirk Meghu. He joins us now on set to give us his perspective. He's also the political leader of the DNA, the Democratic National Alliance. Mr. Meghu, first of all, thanks for coming, and give us an idea as why you joined this march today.
Well, the reason why we joined the march today is because a line has been crossed. This whole fiasco with this Section 34 has really offended the sensibility of so many people, and it is a fundamental betrayal of trust. Just the day before, we had two of the three highest office holders in Trinidad and Tobago, the President of the Republic and the Chief Justice, both expressing extreme concern about it. The Chief Justice saying he was not in agreement with any partial implementation. They didn't see it. The President not only talking about evil and princes and judges scheming, he also called for people of integrity to stand up. Because in the final analysis, the politicians are our public servants. Our institutions are there to serve us. And when our institutions fail, as they have failed in this instance, the only remedy is for the people to stand up and fix it. That is a self-correcting mechanism.
And we saw a crowd that the police put at between 10,000 to 15,000 people. Yeah. Does this send a signal that the government is actually, a message is really being sent to the government in this regard?
Absolutely. In 48 hours, for over 10,000 people, you cannot just bring out 10,000 people like that. That is a note of a fundamental chord you've struck in people. And you know, and as I said at the rally, not only 10,000 people were there, but I am certain more than 10,000 extra people wanted to come. But people were afraid that if you go to the rally, you would be supporting the PNF. But this transcends party affiliation. This is about the framework of our democracy, the trust on which all social institutions are built.
All right, we need to wrap the word. Let me ask you just very, very quickly, do you think that the Prime Minister should make a statement as to why Section 34 alone was proclaimed?
Absolutely. There's no excuse why a statement hasn't been made as yet.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kirk Meghu. Moving on now, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar will tomorrow walk the streets of Laventille to hear the concerns of the people on how crime can be reduced. Minister Warner made the announcement as he spoke at a community meeting in Beverly Hills, Laventille, a short while ago. Cameraman Manu Ragbir and reporter Chester Sambrano were there, and they filed this report.
All hands on deck to bring peace and end the killings in the Laventille area. National Security Minister Jack Warner and his national security agencies ventured back into Laventille, this time in the Beverly Hills area, the scene of 4 murders 2 weekends ago. But as he spoke to the residents of the area, asking for their help in dealing with the crime problem plaguing the community, he announced that the Prime Minister herself wants to get involved.
So tomorrow, 2:30, the Prime Minister and our ministers will be coming through Laventille to work also too, and to meet with you and to understand some of the problems you have and how we can address them.
Minister Warner said no effort would be spared in uplifting the Laventille community, but whatever happens, there must be peace.
To whom much is given, much will be expected. And what we expect from Laventille, and what the young people expect from Laventille, what your children expect from Laventille is peace and stability and a chance to live their peaceful lives once again. And therefore we shall give you everything. But I want to make it quite clear to the criminals, if after all of that, they don't change their ways, they can run for some time, but they can never hide.
Mr. Warner said, in addition to an increase in visibility and technology, the infrastructure in the Laventille communities would be upgraded to turn all the tracks into roads to minimize escape routes for criminals. I am Chester Sambrano, reporting for CNC3 News.
A 65-year-old Presal man has died in a fire which destroyed his house around 5 this morning. But neighbors say it's the fourth such incident in the Kuva area in under 2 months. We have more from Kamal Georges.
65-year-old Nizarul Makoon never escaped the blaze that destroyed his home on Tuesday. It was a difficult reality for relatives of the former employee of the Ministry of National Security to come to terms with. Those who knew Makoon well stood by helpless, convinced that he was the victim of a robbery and arson.
But they did say the house was ransacked.
We wouldn't say rob, but people did.
No, let it go.
You alone still live there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh? You're not sure? When I say sleep on there, the day we always hear.
The blaze began shortly after 5 on Tuesday morning. Neighbors reported hearing an explosion before the house went up in flames. Fire officers reported that inside the home was ransacked. Cupboards were open, a cutlass that did not belong to Makoon was found, and a brand new brush cutter was missing. His sister Zolfina Bridgelal says her brother was the victim of crime before.
One of the officers came and told us that the kitchen ransacked, all the cupboards open, and he has a blue barrel with some things in it all scattered.
Residents of the area say this is the fourth incident in less than 2 months. They believe Makoon may have been the victim of a vicious robbery and arson spree. I'm Kamal Georges reporting for CNC3 News.
Well, it's time now for What You Saw, where we highlight the video and the photos you send us to the address news@cnc3.co.tt. Our first picture is from Carol, who says, why should some people be allowed to erect tents to sell food on the boardwalk? In Barbados, she says, where this idea originated, that would never happen. She says, let's keep our new boardwalk clean and tidy. Then from a viewer from Glencoe, 4 cars in 1 week had their windows smashed and batteries stolen. The viewer says 3 cars in Victoria Gardens, same thing. They say the scrap metal folks are encouraging people to steal batteries from cars for the lead. And finally, from Larry saying, just thought I should share this photo. This lonesome kiskadee made its nest on the ceiling of the Crown Point Hotel in Tobago. I thought Angry Birds was an appropriate title since it sure looks angry but was nevertheless harmless. And if you really know the Angry Birds game, that bird did indeed look like one of the Angry Birds. So thank you for your photos. You too can send us the photos or video that are important to you. The address news@cnc3.co.tt. And that's all from me. Charlene and Roger, back to you.
Thank you very much, Samson.
The West Indies Cricket Board today announced that accomplished Jamaican management consultant Michael Muirhead has been appointed the new Chief Executive Officer of the regional governing body for cricket. The Board of Directors approved Mr. Muirhead's appointment at a meeting in Barbados at the weekend, and his appointment is for 3 years. President of the WICB, Julian Hunt, Dr. Hunt, commented on Muirhead's appointment today, saying, quote, the board is confident that the appointment of Mr. Muirhead will ensure that West Indies cricket remains resolutely on the path to structured development and progress, and that he is most capable of continuing the process of overseeing the implementation of the WICB Strategic Plan 2011 to 2016. And, quote, Muirhead will succeed Dr. Ernest Hilaire, who demits office on September 30th after serving the 3-year term of his contract. Muirhead holds an MBA in finance from Georgia State University in the U.S. and a degree in management studies from the University of the West Indies, Mona campus. Host Sri Lanka won today's opening match of the ICC T20 World Cup Group C in Hambantota. They whipped Zimbabwe by 82 runs.
The Sri Lankan innings,
Dilshan and Munanawira opened for Sri Lanka, who was sent in by Zimbabwe. They put on 53 for the first wicket, but that's when Munanawira was run out for 17. Mahela Jayawardena then joined Dilshan, but Dilshan was caught by wicketkeeper Taylor from the bowling of Kramer. He scored 39. Next in was Kumar Sangakkara, and he quickly lost to Jayawardena, run out for 13. Sangakkara was joined by Mendez, and both men set about taking apart the Zimbabwe attack. Sangakkara hitting the ball to all parts before departing for 44 with 2 4s and 1 6 from 26 deliveries. Pereira hit a 6 in the penultimate ball of their innings. Sri Lanka 182 for 4. Mendes scored 43. Not a bad stat for Zimbabwe between Visusubanda and Matsakasa. But as they tried to accelerate in the 6th over, Sabanda was bowled by Mendes. First ball, Taylor stumped by Sangakkara. Then 2 overs later, Mendes bowled Mazakatsa. There was a steady stream of wickets after that, with Mendes running through the Zimbabwe order. He ended with figures of 6 for 8 in 4 overs with 2 maidens. Zimbabwe bowled out for 117.5 overs. Victory for Sri Lanka by 82 runs. The tournament continues tomorrow. Australia versus Ireland, then Afghanistan against India. The West Indies will be in action against Australia on Saturday. Football now. Central FC are the latest addition to the Digicel TT Pro League this season. The new kids on the block have former Soca Warriors defender Brent Sancho as their managing director, while their head coach is the former Arsenal and England international Graham Rix. Our sports crew of Ignatius Fraser and Astel Wren spent some time with the central-based unit at a training session earlier today.
Let's go. That's trainer Lindsay Davis taking the players through a training routine. Although Central FC are making their debut in the TT Pro League, there are some familiar faces. Former national players Anthony Wolf and Hayden Tinto, Kevin Cornell, Marvin Oliver and goalkeeper Marvin Phillip. Managing director and co-owner Brent Sancho says their planning stage took just over 6 months to put together a squad and other areas, and he's always mindful of the fact of the steady flow of teams coming in and leaving the TT Pro League very quickly.
Well, we have a 3-year, 5-year and a 10-year plan. What we want to do is become financially viable after 3 years and push on from there. We are very aware of the coming in and dropping out of some teams. So what we are trying to do is, as I said, is put it more towards a business. Football is a business. And the former Soca Warrior pointed out, all of the players have brought into Central FC's plans and ambition. I'm so proud of those boys. They've trained for the past month and a half without any salaries or not even knowing if we're part of the Pro League. And they've been tremendous. Their work rate have been exceptional. And I've never seen that in all the years I've been back in Trinidad football. The assistant coach is Kevin Jeffrey, who was conducting the session on our arrival, while the head coach is former Arsenal and England international Graham Rix.
I can only speak on how I've found. In the last 6 weeks, the boys have been magnificent. They've made a lot of sacrifices. They've taken on board what I've said. And I think we're definitely moving in the right direction. Success for me is the boys at the end of the season realising their potential and realising what it takes to be a professional footballer. The first part of this job has been completed. That is the boardroom work, getting the team together. Now it's on to the second phase. It's on to the field of play, where these players are required to execute what they have been taught. I am Astel Wren reporting for CNC3 Sport from Edinburgh 500, Central Trinidad.
2012 Derby Day out at Santa Rosa Racecourse promises a spectacle of horse racing come next Monday. Not only will the top equine stars in TNT and the region be on display, but some of the top jockeys as well. A total of 7 international jockeys will be flown in, according to ARC Racing Secretary Robin Jysing.
I think we have no less than 7 jockeys coming in for the day. I don't think we've ever had as many as 7 jockeys coming for any day at Santa Rosa Park, and we have 7 jockeys coming from within the Caribbean and North America. And we also can't forget our local jockeys, Brian Harding, Ricky Jadu, 2 of the most experienced jockeys in the Caribbean. They've been riding for almost 30 years. We have a young champion jockey, Brian Brew Johnson, and the experienced Nobel Abrigo. So we're going to see some of our local talent against some really top-class international jockeys on race day next Monday at San Jose Park.
Along with our local cast, which includes Brian Harding, as he said, who recently went past 1,000 career wins. Some of those international names include Shane Ellis from Jamaica, Antonio Whitehall from Barbados, last year's Derby winner Alan Marag from Calder in Florida, and Cornelio Velasquez, who races in New York.